There has been a lot of misinformation surrounding President Trump's shelters for migrant children at the border. So what are they really like? Well, Joel Pollack is a senior editor at large for Breitbart News, and he got a firsthand look at one and joins us right now from L.A. Joel, good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, so you went to a facility about a half an hour from the border in El Cajon, California. What's your headline from inside one of the border shelters?
Well, the most amazing thing to me when I arrived there, and I arrived with an open mind, I felt I had to see it for myself, was the care of the staff who work there. They have doctors, they have psychologists, they have trained social workers, administrators, and all of them want to help these children. Often the kids come there without any knowledge of basic hygiene. They come from some of the poorest places in Central America. The staff there give them toiletries, they give them new clothes. They sometimes have to teach them how to shower, how to use a flush toilet. They give them an education. This is a place where they really have the welfare of the kids at heart. And they come there from Border Patrol facilities. They're in a difficult situation, but the goal is to ring that reunion bell that sits right at the front of the facility. And every time a child rings that bell, that means they're reuniting with family or with a sponsor. And everybody wants to get them to that point. It's not about politics. It's just about caring for the kids.
Right. And the reason they are taken from the adults is because the adults have broken the law. If you come into the country seeking asylum, you are not separated. But Joel, one of the very incendiary terms is that inside these things are cages. And I've seen some of the images, and there are some chain link fences. Is it appropriate to call them cages?
What those images are describing are the temporary detention facilities at Border Patrol. The Border Patrol often rescues these families from the backs of trucks, from gangland safe houses, from the middle of the desert where they could be dying of dehydration, and it brings them there. They have to separate children from adults. They don't know if the adults are their parents. They can't put people together in one common space. So this is what they do there. Those kids are there for a few hours, maybe a day or two at most, and then they're transferred to the shelter where they're cared for. Look, those Border Patrol facilities are not ideal, but they do receive medical attention, they receive food, they receive some kind of shelter, which is better than what they had on the long, arduous, and often dangerous trek from Central America to the border.
Joel Pollack, we thank you very much for telling us what it's like inside, because we've heard some disturbing descriptions over the last week or so, and now we have a better idea. Thank you, sir, for joining us today from LA.